Well, good morning to everybody. My beautiful Africa Twin has gone in for a service at Bournemouth Honda, and they've kindly lent me this NX500. So I thought I'd take it out today, give it a little bit of a test, and tell you what I think of it. First impressions, I think it does exactly what it should be. It's probably your first big bike after passing your test. It's got a very subtle power delivery. It's got a very smooth gearbox. Controls are all fairly basic and easy to use. It's got a clear and concise, I would say, TFT screen. And there's not too much on there to get you hung up, not like the Africa Twin, which has got a multitude of buttons on this side, but obviously it's not an Africa Twin. It's a lightweight crossover. I think they call it a middleweight, but to be honest with you, I think it's more lightweight. It does feel very light. Parallel twin engine. Less than half the brake horsepower of what I'm used to. I think it's about 47 brake horsepower, and it's a 500 twin. I'm not a huge fan of all black. I know a lot of people love the whole black look, but there's just enough chrome and metal bits on there to break it up, I think. But anyway, we're going to go out for a ride. We're going to take it to motorway speed. We're going to go up some hills. We're going to do some twisties, and we're going to see how it performs. So I will catch up with you a little bit later. So the first thing I did notice when I first rode this was the feet position. Seems quite a way back. I was quite surprised. To me, it almost needed to be 2 inches more forward. It feels as though I'm like one of those kids on their scooters that use the back pegs. I'm sure it's something I get used to, but it's creates quite a bend in the knees. But I suppose with a smaller bike you need that. I'm not sure, but yeah. Anyway, that just sort of surprised me of how far back that was. And of course, that being back, it makes the gear change and the brake pedal a little bit further back, so it just feels a little bit unnatural. The seat feels as though it's sloping forward a little bit. It feels as though I want to slide. I'm not sliding, it just feels that way, but I don't know if that's an effect of what I feel the pegs being back a little bit further than what I feel that they should be. Now, obviously, I'm a big bloke. The handlebars feel a little bit low, but it's not going to be for most people. I'm just a big person. Clutch is very light. Controls are very Honda. The indicator is a little bit of a reach to get to. The Africa Twin isn't very good either. It's not very obvious. The button almost needs to be a little bit bigger. Now I just got to be really, really careful when trying to review the power on this, because you know it's not an Africa Twin. I haven't got over 100 brake horsepower and loads of torque, so I just got to get into my head this is half of everything. And I would say the magic seems to happen on this bike at about 4,000 revs. 3.5 to 4 is when I feel that it sort of like takes off. You could just feel a little bit more power. Now I am going to take this on a 70-mile-an-hour road. I want to see what the wind buffeting's like, to see if it can hold at 70 without any issues, especially with a 24-stone person on here. So that should be quite a good little test. One thing I did notice, look, corrosion already. It's a brand new bike. It's done 408 miles and already we've got some corrosion here. Come on, Honda, up your game a little bit. This isn't the Honda that we're accustomed to. So in fairness, it doesn't pull that bad. I mean, that was in third, quite a slow pace. It did pull out all right from there. I can't help feeling, you get a feeling of it being a little bit choked, but I'm sure that's all about the emissions. I think this gives a fuel economy of, I think I read somewhere in the region of 60 miles to the gallon. I mean, I've never bought a bike for the economy. There's too many other principles that's way above that for me. It's a bit like being in the market for a sports car and you're looking at the economy as one of the important factors. You don't. It's how it looks, the speed, what it's capable of. Reliability is obviously one of the main factors as well. And now we're going to take it up to motorway speed, so I'm in top gear. I'm just going to change. Well, 70 mile an hour seems quite comfortable, to be honest with you. Again, bearing in mind I'm quite a big old lump. Bit of vibration coming through the bars, like a high frequency vibration. Yeah, that could be noticeable after a long ride. I can actually feel it coming through the pegs as well. With regard to buffeting, I think it's how I expected. Relatively low short screen, we're getting plenty of wind in the face, but there's no adverse buffeting. Even though I've got a peaked helmet, it doesn't seem to be affecting that too bad. See if there's any more in the can if I just needed to overtake here. So I haven't dropped down. Yeah, fair enough. Oh, their vibrations. They started to even go through the seat then. It's a high frequency vibration. Definitely feel it. Actually, the more I ride it, the more torque and power I think it's got. I mean, it is brand new, so obviously the engine's tight. I mean, that vibration may go after a good few thousand miles, perhaps. I don't know. And there's enough in there just for a quick overtake. It's always the way when you come off of something bigger and you get onto something smaller, it's that initial shock factor. But once you settle into it and you take it for what it is, yeah, it's okay. One thing we haven't really talked about is suspension, and again, I am a big person, and it's not that bad. I was expecting it to be a little soft with my weight on it, and it's not. It sort of holds up quite well. It doesn't dive into corners, which I was expecting it to. It is shower suspension, but I don't think it's adjustable on this, but it seems to be doing a good enough job. And certainly any person of normal weight wouldn't have any issue with it whatsoever. Yeah, do you know what? That doesn't pull too bad. It's winning me round. Okay, so the next part of my little test and experiment is hills. Got a 20% gradient here. I just want to see if there's any struggle, but from what I've gathered so far, I don't think there is going to be any problem. Again, it's 24 stone. I'm in third gear. Just over 4,000 revs, and now I'm going to see, yeah, look, so you can accelerate. That's pretty good. Fair play. Yep, still pulls. Unfortunately, so we've got a bit of sea mist coming over here. It would have been a really nice view, but oh, I don't know, there's a bit of blue over there. Well, final thoughts on the little Honda. I've grown to quite like it. I think it's quite typical of Honda. It does everything well. I wouldn't say that it excites me, but if you want a bike to commute on, to do some bit of touring in a lightweight, mid-weight bike, I think it's perfect. Economical. All I could say is go and test ride one, see what you think. But yeah, I think it's grown on me a bit. Once you get used to, or for me to get used to the slightly lack of power to what I'm used to, it does it well. It's just, I think the only negative for me is that vibration, that high frequency vibration, and I did also notice a bit coming through the tank, but that possibly may go once you put some miles on it. It's brand new, less than 500 miles, everything's quite tight, that may well loosen up, but all in all, yeah, I think it's a contender if you were looking for a bike of that size.